Hey everybody, I've made a guitar, a bass guitar. I want to show it off. I call it my Cape Breton bass guitar because it's supposed to be in the shape of Cape Breton Island, which is the island I grew up on in Nova Scotia, with the Bredor Lakes in the middle, which I did in epoxy resin. Great learning experience. It took me a few months to build this, and I had to learn every step of the way, and it's not perfect. It has imperfections, I will admit to that. If you stand far enough back, it looks pretty good. If you look at it close up, you'll start to see the warts, but let's not do that. Let's focus on the positives. It has two single coil pickups, P-bass pickups. These are EMG, Geezer Butler brand pickups. Very simple volume and tone. And the electronics panel in the back. And yeah, I got all my equipment at Home Depot, and they only had clear plastic, so that's what I ended up using. It's made of poplar, which is kind of heavy. I don't know if I would choose poplar again. It's a heavy instrument with the poplar neck as well, and let's plug it in and see how it sounds. I have some intonation problems past the 12th fret. It starts to buzz a little bit, and I do have a little bit of fret buzz here and there that I'll have to correct, but I think it's ready for a demonstration. Now, I tried to shoot this video before, and I plugged it in and nothing happened. So I worked on it for a week or so, and now I'm pretty confident it will work. So let's give my Cape Breton bass a try. The Cape Breton bass. So they say to start off with a plan, so that's what I did. I got some graph paper and got out my tools and started drawing. And this was a bit of an embarrassment. I just needed to cut the one piece of wood, but my table saw that I hadn't used for a while, not bolted to the stand, and I thought, okay, let's just get this piece of poplar cut and I'll bolt that down later. So I wouldn't recommend that sort of thing at home. So I collected up my tools, and I had my plan and my piece of poplar, because that's about the only thing that they were selling at the Home Depot during COVID. And there you go, there's my Cape Breton Island shaped bass body. Again, this isn't a how-to, so figure out the scroll saw for yourself. But that's what I used, a scroll saw, and then I used the sander to sand off the edges and shape it a bit. And I wish I could find that footage. I don't know what happened to that. Sand it down really good, sand it all over. Keep your through line. If you can see my pencil mark down the middle, it's important to keep that center line, I found. This was the most challenging part of the entire project. Trying to fit the truss rod into the neck. The whole neck was hard, actually. That is the hardest part of the guitar building process, as far as I'm concerned. I successfully, well, I wouldn't say I successfully accomplished it. I accomplished it, and there's some tuning issues, so I obviously didn't really do it right. But that's where the skill of the luthier comes in. I used ebony wood. One nice thing about this guitar building project is, that was the fun part, shaping the back. I used a Japanese tool, a Japanese pull file to do that. This was hard. Cutting these things in was tough, to get them straight. I did an okay job on that. and then the electronics and the electronics cavity were that had me worried, because you get this far in a project and you have your nice guitar body, and you don't want to mess it up with your final steps with the drill or the router or whatever. Use a bit of wood filler there to fit in my Geezer Butler pickups. Testing it out, making sure the electronics work. These are plug and play, so I didn't have to use a lot of soldering and learn much electronics. Just plug one end into the other. String it up, and let's see.
Okay, we're playing.
If it makes sound. So it's functional. Now this is sort of the silly but fun part of the project. I wanted to make the Bredor Lakes. Now the Bredor Lakes sit in the middle of Cape Breton Island, and it's a beautiful natural feature, and I wanted to incorporate it into the design of my bass guitar. So I chiseled out an approximation of the Bredor Lakes. As you can see there, I primed it, painted it sort of a Cape Breton hunter green being what was available in the spray bombs at the store, and a gloss. There's the resin I used for the inlay, the epoxy inlay for the Bredor Lakes. You can get some powder to tint your resin with. So that's what I'm going for. That's the effect I wanted. Of course, you'll see in a moment that I didn't quite hit that home run, but I had fun trying. All these projects that I do are just to sort of expand my knowledge base and to challenge myself a little and to learn something. This epoxy stuff is cool to work with. It's just mix it 50-50 and pour it, and it takes a while to dry. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush things. If I was more of an artist, this probably would have turned out spectacular, but I'd like to work with resin again. There's something called cold casting, where you can mix metallic powdered metals in with the resin. So it ends up being hard and shiny like metal, but it's not actually metal. It's resin with metallic shavings in it. So I'll give that a go sometime. Resin is very sensual, very it's fun. It's fun to work with. It's self-leveling, which is kind of cool. That's Lake Ainslie I'm filling in. You can look that up on Google Maps. And the Geezer Butler pickups plop right down in the middle of the Bredor Lakes there. That's not bad. I should have left it like that, but I thought it didn't look good, so I ended up painting it blue, which looks okay, but I think I should have left it like that now that I'm looking back on it, because that looks pretty good actually now that I think about it. Try not to second guess yourself in projects. Sometimes you actually did it right and you think, ooh, that's not a nice color, it's not what I was thinking, but that's exactly what I was thinking now that I look back. But I'll show you what I did in a minute. It sort of messes it up actually. That project took me 4 months, 5 months, from the summer into the fall and winter. Bridge adjustments and my truss rod adjustments. I never did get the intonation right past the 12th fret. Heavy as heck. Don't use poplar wood. It's it's a thrill when you plug it in and it works. That, you know, it's not complex electronics, but when it actually works, it's quite a sense of satisfaction. Here's my electronics bay. I forget why I had to drill so many holes. I did have a reason at the time. So here I go. I'm gonna paint. See, it ruins it, doesn't it? It's not as nice. I don't think the blue is as nice. So anyway, there it is, finished.